Hello guys and welcome back to Watching Time. Today we're going to be reviewing a very limited edition in terms of number obviously, but also in terms of design, a very particular limited edition from Seiko in their Seiko 5 line. So first of all, the Seiko 5 line, obviously a direct replacement to the SKX of Seiko, we have found that has overflown the market in the last few years, obviously with a lot of different designs. And for an SKX fan, Seiko fan, it has been also a pleasure seeing a lot of limited editions, plain colorations. There is even one that it looks exactly kind of like the Vogue because of the colors, the golden dial, and the Pepsi bezel. So yeah, definitely they have been playing a lot during the last few years. And today we're going to be showcasing the latest and probably one of the nicest, on my personal opinion, and this is also the reason why I have both of them, probably the best limited edition of 2022. First of all, just for us to be touching on what I'm talking about, this is just one of the Seiko 5 limited editions that they did for Street Fighter. So they have been playing with computer game themes, not only Street Fighters, there is also Naruto, for example, and you have other themes they have taken into consideration and interpreting them as watches. This is also a very nice touch. These are also limited. This is, for example, the one on Ryu. It came originally on white canvas straps that kind of resembles the karate clothes that he uses. I really don't like it because it's white, but that's me. So I replaced it with these straps, X Pro, very nice rubber strap. I'm going to be doing a video on these straps because I have been really very positively surprised of the good quality of these straps. Anyway, I think it looks much funner. So Seiko 5 has diversified themselves a lot lately. So limited editions like this one I really love because of the dial, the texture that you see on this white, obviously the remembering of the Street Fighter, and the bezel that looks like a fight if we want to put ruined kind of red and black bezel. So another example of the diversifications they are doing is, for example, this Seiko 5 GMT. So this is the latest, cheapest Seiko movement that actually has a GMT movement to it. And I think that's also an achievement because you're going to be having cheap Seiko 5s that are also GMT automatics, and I think that's a really nice touch. So I got the orange one, very nice. First also to have Jubilee straps, so this one actually has a Jubilee straps originally, but I just changed it with this strap X Pro rubber, FKM rubber, because at the end of the day it's a synthetic rubber. You can see here the logo, and I think it looks very nice. They are doing straps specifically for Seiko that fit perfectly and covers all the end lugs, as you can see. So anyway, just to show the diversification of the Seiko 5, and this is one of the first Seiko 5 models that came out. Interesting enough from the start with this really nice cream dial. It's a strap monster. You can really mix it with anything you like. So going back to our limited editions, this is just to show that Seiko 5, they have a lot of watches in their line. So the latest one has been a collaboration with a street artist, Kosuke Kawamura. He's specialized on doing stratified arts and patches art. So he works a lot with colors, with different textures and levels of stratification, if we want to put it in another way. He's a Japanese artist, very well known in Asia, little known obviously on this side of the continents. So that's okay. It's good to know a new artist, and I think he has done an excellent job redoing the Seiko 5. So first of all, what we noticed that was a big change between usual Seiko 5s is the bezel. So the bezel is quite unique to this watch. And as you can see, his reinterpretation, I find it kind of a rally kind of bezel. It's really, really nice and spot on. I really love how it looks. It gives a different level of impact to the normal Seiko 5. So that's the first point that really attracted my attention, but the second one is the dial. He has really reworked the Seiko 5 dials. So first of all, he got rid of the markers. So you have these very, very small lines that actually are there to signal the markers. You have an internal 0 to 60 scale on the inner ring. You have a very nice orange second hand, and then you have the hands and the minutes and the hour hands that are the only pieces lume apart from the dot on the bezel. So actually the watch went a little bit back to being simpler, straightforward with time, small amount of lumes. If you're a lume monster, this is not the watches that will make for you. Here you have a date also, both in Japanese and in English, and obviously the date. The strap that it comes with is a stainless steel strap that you will see on the right. I took it up and swapped it with another strap, X Pro strap. I will show you that later. I think this is probably the weakest point of this watch. So these watches retail in Europe for 450 and 500 euros. There was a very small difference in price because of the color, but in reality it's justified because of the extra strap that you will find in the box of this one. This is 500 pieces, this is 2000 pieces, and here you have also an extra NATO strap, cheap NATO Seiko strap. So both of them in stainless steel, obviously, but the problem is with the stainless steel of the Seiko 5s is that at the end of the day, as much as they want to improve it, and it's a solid stainless steel, it is also very, very cheap feeling, and especially you will notice that obviously on the clasp. So this is something that Seiko has been doing for a lot of their watches for the last 3 years, before the last 3 years, in which the quality of the straps, especially on the clasp, was really cheap, and they improve it a lot. Like for example on this one that just here, limited edition for Europe, the clasp has obviously been improved and the price has remained low at the time. So you will start seeing this nowadays. Obviously the quality of the Seiko 5 remains an entry level, so they have kept this quality of clasp. That's okay for Seiko 5. I really wonder why they did not just improve it for this special limited edition. I would have paid the premium price for it. So anyway, that's just my opinion. So that's also the reason why having the orange one, the 2000 pieces here, and also the 500 pieces here, I decided to swap the strap with this Strap X Pro rubber strap. They are made in Asia. The quality you can see from this side, it's excellent. It has a kind of a stone texture. It has air flowing passages. You have the logo here stamped on the back, as you can see here, and then you have a very quick and easy way of cutting it. The Kosuke Kawamura watches, both of them have on the back this open case back, but it has been dark, the crystal, so you can actually see the movement, but it's not the main protagonist. The main protagonist becomes the signature of Kosuke Kawamura, and obviously you have also on the case written limited edition and the number of limited edition that you actually have. If you go back to the dial and the quadrant, the dial is an skeletonized dial, and this is the most particular point of these watches. And in the 500 limited edition, you have this gray part that goes from 25 minutes to the hour, and you have this turquoise, blue, light blue, whatever you want to call it, Tiffany kind of color, that it's very, very strong on the 500. You have the same in the 2000 pieces, but you can notice directly when you have them a comparison that this one is much lighter. So there is already there a difference in the type of color, and obviously here you have also this orange. It is weird and interesting that Seiko has just released also two normal Seiko 5 editions with skeletonized dials. Obviously the dial is the classical Seiko 5, but you will see that one is skeletonized on this tone of light blue, and the other one is skeletonized with this tone of orange. The orange one has also a brown bezel, so it's really nice. I think it's one of the nicest one, and the blue one has a blue bezel. So quite interesting new releases that actually have a little bit of touch of the Kosuke Kawamura, and that's also to highlight how Kosuke Kawamura does his art, mixing pieces here and there, and it actually looks kind of a mixture between both of those watches. Quite interesting, right? So obviously those of them are, the bezel is different, it's a classic bezel. So if you're interested and you didn't manage to grab one of these limited editions, probably that's a good option for you. So anyway, going back to the Kosuke Kawamura and the main difference, as I was saying, no main difference apart from everything that we have just highlighted. The movement is the usual reliable workhorse movement 4R that you will see in all Seiko 5s. Personally, I think it's a very reliable piece of shit, which it's fine. I love it. It works great. It is reliable. You will find it there working probably after many years. It's very cheap to maintain. It's very cheap to modify or to substitute, but it's still a highly manufactured movement that doesn't have a good reliability in terms of precision. So that's it. It works great. You will not lose a lot of time, but it's not a Swiss made movement or a higher end Japanese movement. So that's fine. You're paying for a movement that it's probably costing $5. So that's what you get at this price range. But in those limited editions, probably a premium movement would have been nice also, as a nice touch. So quite interesting enough. We're seeing this in have always seen it in the world of collection, especially for limiteds. These limited editions went out really fast. Most of them were sold before they actually came to the stores, and once they were in the store, they quickly finish. So right now you will only find resellers, and the resellers are asking for this one, the 2000 pieces, around 1000 euros, and for the Kosuke Kawamura 500 limited edition, around 2000 euros right now in Chrono24 and in eBay. So that's quite interesting, guys. I wouldn't be paying that amount for these watches. It's funny how stipulation works, but I think they are unfindable at the moment, and it was nice being able to actually manage to grab both of them to show you guys, but also obviously to wear it. I think these are going to be my new favorite Seiko 5s. I really love this one in particular. I think the rubber black color of the strap really highlights the way it works, and actually I think it actually takes it to a more premium level than all the other Seiko 5s. I think the rubber strap really makes a difference here. You cannot feel the texture, but it feels great. This Strap X Pro straps are so... I'm going to do a specific video because I got a bunch of them. So I was trying them with my different watches, and they're specialized in Seiko, and the quality is superb for the price also, because it's actually... the cost of these straps is not that high. It's around $50, I think. So, if I remember correctly. Oh, I left obviously the clasp, the original clasp, and as you can see, both of them are signed Kosuke Kawamura. So that's also a nice touch on these limited editions. Anyway, guys, I really hope you like this video, and we will be talking soon. Before I forget, I'm just going to be showing you a wrist shot very quickly of these watches. And as you can see, on my 18 centimeter wrist, it just sits perfectly. The Seiko 5 works very nice, and these colors are superb. I'm going to be showing you now the 2000 limited edition, as I call it, because both of them are Kosuke Kawamura. And as you can see, also on the stainless steel strap, it looks very nice. It has a nice touch of color, and definitely it's a different kind of Seiko 5 respect to what you're usually used to. So see you all guys in the next video, and until then, please take care.